Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Bar's YouTube series. My name is Bryce Parasini. I'm the founder of Beyond the Bar, and today we're going to get into what your career growth can look like in remote high ticket sales and what each step of the ladder is going to look like as far as your job description and what your earning potential could be. So let's get right into it. So the concept is you can't climb a ladder you can't see. And many of you don't understand or don't know, aren't familiar with remote high ticket sales and where this career can take you. So let's get into it. There are 5 stages on this path. First, you're a bartender. So right now, you're behind the bar. The first step out of that and into remote high ticket sales is going to be a setter, and that's an appointment setter. Generally, you're going to make $2,000 to $7,000 a month. The benefit of being a setter, you can do that during the days while you're still working nights as a bartender. You don't need to quit your job, so you can learn the industry while you're making money doing so. Then the next step up the ladder is going to be a closer. You hit that usually around 6 to 12 months in, depending on how good you are, what your numbers look like, if you've hired a sales trainer to be able to help improve and move a little faster. And once you get there, you're taking 10% commission of everything that's closing. And generally, your commissions are going to be anywhere from 8 to 20 plus thousand a month. Really, the sky's the limit if you're on a top offer. But the 8 to 20,000 is a pretty comfortable number as far as what you're looking at as far as compensation. Then after that, if you want to go further, some people just stay at closer. Just like being a great bartender, you have freedom, you don't have that many responsibilities, you can kind of just be a lone wolf and you're making great money. You don't need to go into management to earn more money, you're good. Some people want to go into management, just like going into bar management. There's the next step, which is sales manager. And in that role, you're going to be leading teams. And because of that, you're taking a cut of what everyone sells. You're making anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000 a month, depending on how many teams you're running and how successful those teams are. Then the top of the ladder is going to be growth operator. That's where you're driving the business forward. That's where you're creating growth for the offer and expanding the business and really being a partner in taking the offer to the next level and making more money for the founder. So because of that, you're getting a cut of everything that comes in, and you can make a lot of money doing that if you do it really well. So let's get into the nitty gritty of each position. As a setter, that's appointment setter. That's the entry level position. You don't need experience to get this. Bartenders are really well qualified for this with their communication skills, with their natural sales ability. And you're going to learn the offer, you're going to learn the industry, and you're going to learn how to set good calls to closers and qualify people. So you're going to make sure that they have the financial capability and sufficient interest to put them into the next level, which is a spot on the calendar of a closer. For this, you're making generally about 5% commission on everything that the closer sells, and you might have a base, a small base of kind of $500 to $1,500 a month. Generally, it's not very high because you're still getting commissions on top of that. You generally do this for anywhere from kind of 6 to 12 months as you're learning the game. And the logical next step, which anyone who's worth their salt is going to take, is the closer position. And in that closer position, they're going to be making 10% commission on everything that's sold. You've already kind of figured out the sales process as being a setter. Now you're ready to take on those leads. Those leads have a cost for the offer, obviously. Getting them onto your calendar, the offer is paying for the marketing and to be able to get people to you to talk to qualified leads that are ready and interested in buying. And there is obviously a cost to that. So they need to be able to trust that you're going to be able to do your job well. Doing your job well is closing generally 30 to 40% of everyone that lands on your calendar. Essentially, you get on a Google Meet or a Zoom call, you have a conversation with them, 30 to 45 minutes. At the end of the conversation, as long as they're interested and you think they'd be a good fit for the program, you close the deal and you take 10% of that closed deal. Deals are generally anywhere from $5,000 to $30,000 plus. So you're making $500 to $3,000, $4,000 per a closed deal. And with that, your overall monthly commissions are going to be 8 to 20 plus thousand per month. Obviously, the better you get, the more expensive the offer you can qualify for, and you're going to make more money because you're closing a higher percentage of deals. Then, if you'd like, not everyone wants to move to this position. Some, just like some bartenders, are happy being a bartender and they make great money doing that, and they don't have the responsibility of leading a team. They don't want to go to bar manager. However, many bartenders want to continue their career and they don't want to deal with talking to people every day and kind of the front facing aspect of bartending. Same thing going to a sales manager. You are working internally. You are training teams. You are hiring setters and closers. You are coaching people. You are making sure that the team runs at their highest capacity. The better you are at your job, the better that your sales team is going to be doing and the more money they're going to be bringing in. You're taking a cut of everything your team closes. For that position, and generally there will be a base salary as well. For that, you're going to be making anywhere from 15 to 30,000 a month, give or take. And obviously, great money. However, there's one more step on the ladder, and that is growth operator. This is the top of the ladder unless you're running your own offer, unless you start your own info product. And so, as a growth operator, you are getting profit share, you're getting equity in the business because you are driving growth. You are making sure that the ads team is functioning at their highest level, that marketing's functioning at their highest level. You're helping with creative, you're helping with funnels, you're helping with the sales manager, and you're really overseeing the whole show and making sure that all of it rises together and that the team makes more money. For that position, because it is a high level position and not everyone can do it, you're going to make really good money when the team succeeds. And growth operators can make, I know growth operators personally that are doing over $100,000 a month. So this can be a 7-figure career once you get to growth operator. Obviously, that's the top, the creme de la creme, but it is there and that opportunity is there. Info product space has a lot of money in it, multi-billion-dollar industry. So if you get good at this, you can make a lot of money as you grow and as you learn. So, how do you 10x what you make as a setter to being a growth operator? As a setter, $2,000 to $7,000 a month, not too hard to 10x 2,000. You can do that as a closer. At 7,000 a month, 70,000 a month, you're going to have to be a growth operator. You're going to have to be driving the operation. However, you have that potential in this business, unlike in bartending. You're not going to 10x your position, your money from bar back to, GM. It's just not going to happen generally. So that gives you a lot of potential in this industry that you can't find in bartending. How do you get promoted? Sales is a numbers game. So you have to show that you are performing. And so to go from setter to closer, you have to consistently be booking qualified leads. And those leads have to be showing up on the closer's calendar, and those leads have to be closing at a pretty high rate on the closer's calendar, because that's showing that you're doing your due diligence. You're doing your job well. You are determining whether these leads are qualified. So that is how you go from setter to closer. And that generally happens in months between month 6 and 12. To go from closer to manager, you have to show that you really know this sales process. You're doing that 30 to 40% close rate. You're bringing in commissions of 20,000 plus per month. You've dialed this in, and you're probably closing for 1.5 to 3 years before you become a sales manager. It just takes that long and that many reps to be able to really know what you're doing and be able to lead others to do the same. And then to go from manager to operator, this is one of the biggest jumps, because you're not just doing sales at this point. You're looking at the holistic growth of the company. You're looking at ads, you're looking at marketing, you're looking at fulfillment, you're looking at everything that the business does and everything the business needs to be able to get to the next level and to be able to expand its revenue. And so because of that, there is a lot to learn between manager and operator. But if you're in the business long enough and you have a good enough relationship with the COO and the founder, you can learn these things, you can grow, and you can get to that operator position, which is paying you 30,000 plus a month when you're doing this well. So big earnings potential in that operator position. What's a realistic timeline? We kind of went over this already, but you know, first 6 to 9 months, you're going to be a setter. You're going to be making anywhere from $2,000 to $7,000 a month. You're going to be a closer anywhere from 6 months to 8 years. Some people, just like bartending, they're happy with having little responsibility and they can make great money as a closer. They're happy just logging in, doing their thing, making $20,000 a month, and they don't have the responsibility of having to deal with a whole team and everything that goes along with that. However, if they do want to move up to that manager position, that usually happens year 2 to year 3, in that area. You're leading a team, you're getting paid on everything that they make and the success of your team, and growing that team, making them better, making good decisions when it comes to hiring and firing and all these things that go around being a sales manager. And then a growth operator, you may never hit that. That's the top rung of the ladder. But if you are going to enter that position, that's generally happening after you've had 3+ years in the industry and you really understand the holistic view of the business and how to drive growth. And that doesn't just mean sales. Sales is the engine of this, but there is also marketing, there's ads, there's fulfillment. There's a lot of other pieces to the puzzle that you need to handle well as a growth operator. So many people never get there, but if you do get there, it's going to be year 3 to 5 generally that you're going to make that jump. So as I've said before, action takers are money makers. Here's 4 things you can do this week to start your way to get to that first rung and to move your way up the ladder. So where do you see yourself? Where are you today? Where do you want to go? Name that rung, name where you want to take your career. And then write down exactly what you want to, as a goal, to be paid, say 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 2 years from now, because there's power in that written goal and that goal setting and putting your sights on something bigger. Write that down, hold yourself to it, and come back to it once that time has passed. Then the next thing is one skill or result that earns that next jump. And that might be hiring a sales trainer. You may need to hire outside help to be able to get to that next level. That might be the best course of action. What do you need to get to the next level and to earn what you stated you wanted to earn in 6, 12 months, 2 years' time? You have a gap. What's that gap? How do you fill it? Step 4, do 1 rep today. So just, do a mock call. Look for an offer that you could see yourself in. What does that look like? What are the objections that could happen? What is the sales process? Walk through what that looks like and envision yourself in that position on that Google Meet or a Zoom call, closing those deals, setting those deals, and how that would feel and what you need to do to get there. Those are 4 actions you can take today. Beyond the Bar was built for you to get to that first rung, from bartending to appointment setter, within 90 days time. If you're looking for help to get to that first rung, that's what I started Beyond the Bar for. Comment 90 in the comments and I will reach out to help you with a custom made 90-day exit game plan. I will book a call with you. We will walk through what those 90 days look like, getting you from bartending to a setter position without leaving your bar job until you are making as much or more setting as you have bartending. So follow along, subscribe. I'm going to be dropping more videos on this process. Share it with a bartender friend of yours, and